They seem fine. They hold it together at school, at family gatherings, at the doctor's office, and then they get home and everything falls apart. Or they hold it together for months, years, and then collapse in a way that looks sudden to everyone around them. This is masking. Masking is the performance a PDA person puts on to appear like they are managing, when underneath the demand load is building, the nervous system is in constant response, and the energy required to hold it all together is being spent faster than it can be replenished. Masking is not deception, it is survival. For many PDA individuals, especially those who went undiagnosed for a long time, masking developed because it was the only way to get through environments that weren't built for them. Masking happens for a few connected reasons, and understanding them matters for how you respond to it. When a PDA person is in an environment where demand avoidance isn't possible, where refusing or escaping the demand would have real consequences, the avoidance goes internal. They comply on the outside. The nervous system still responds. The cost is just invisible. There's also a social learning component, particularly for people who grew up without a diagnosis. They learned, through experience, what behavior was expected of them in different contexts. Masking is the result of applying that learning at a constant cost. Here's what's particularly difficult. The smarter and more socially aware the person, the more effective the mask can be, and the longer diagnosis tends to take. The mask works too well. From the outside, everything looks fine. From the inside, it's anything but. Masking looks different in children and adults, but there are some common patterns. In children, masking often shows up as the school-to-home contrast we talked about in our school video. Compliant and manageable during the school day. Complete breakdown once they're somewhere safe. The home is where the mask comes off, and parents absorb what was building all day. Teachers report no issues at all. Parents know something different is happening. The gap between those two reports is often masking. In adults, masking often looks like exhaustion after social situations that seem to go well. High functioning at work, minimal functioning at home, performing competence in public while privately struggling with the simplest daily demands. Late diagnosed adults often look back at their whole lives and see decades of masking they had no name for. Relationships where they performed being easier than they were, jobs where they held it together until they couldn't, periods of burnout they thought were just their personality. Masking is one of the main roads to burnout, and this is the part that matters most practically. Masking is expensive. It takes constant energy to monitor your behavior, suppress your responses, and perform what's expected. That energy comes from the same limited pool that daily life draws from. When you spend it all on performance, there's nothing left for actual functioning. The longer the mask holds, the harder the crash when it gives. Burnout that follows years of effective masking can be severe and slow to recover from, because the depletion runs that deep. The answer to masking is not to help someone build a better mask. It's to create environments, at home, at school, in relationships, that need less masking in the first place. The goal is safety, not performance. A few things that genuinely help, and a few that make masking worse. What helps most is creating environments where the mask can come off safely, where a PDA person doesn't have to perform in order to be accepted or supported. At home, this means being the safe landing place, not adding demands on top of what school or work already took. Recognizing the behavioral contrast, the fine at school, falling apart at home pattern, as information rather than manipulation. It is telling you where the mask comes off. That's a sign of safety, not a problem. What makes it worse is demanding the performance continue in the only safe space they have. Telling a PDA child that the behavior at home needs to match the behavior at school removes the one place where they don't have to mask. That has real consequences. If any of this sounds familiar, whether you're a parent watching a child hold it together all day, or an adult recognizing your own history in what I've described, you're probably not imagining it. There's a free Discord community in the description for parents, adults with PDA, and caregivers. Link below. I'll see you in the next video.